Hey there. Hey there. We're here.
Hey, Nomads of Lore. And I'm Jonathan.
Yeah. And we are Med and Mischief.
Med and Mischief.
Med. And we're going to be talking about episode 7.
How much of that have you had so far?
Like a sip.
Okay.
Calm down. Mostly milk. Yeah, so we're going to ultimately talk about episode 7. This is going to be our live discussion, reaction, all of those kind of things. You know, we like to do our live streams on these a little bit off the rails, just a little bit. You know, we have a plan. We have a little more of a plan this time than normal, and we tend to do, you know, have the plan, face the enemy, and forget the plan around here. And these lives usually turn out to be a lot of fun. We're going to kind of talk about some general thoughts about the episode first, as we kind of wait to get some folks on and folks on live and all of that. So we're going to kind of give some overall thoughts and some kind of behind the scenes-y kind of thoughts at this very, very beginning. And then we will jump into the episode. And y'all, when you get in here, make sure and jump on and say hey and let us know who you are and maybe where you're from. Not specifics. We don't want to know your address, but you know,
you can put your social on there,
right? I mean, you could, you know, maybe we
I wouldn't recommend it, but
yeah, no, not a good.
Let me get some housekeeping out of the way. So we have a live stream right now. Obviously, we have tomorrow on Sunday we will release our predictions for episode 8. We'll probably shoot those right after this so that we have no other outside sources of new information coming in yet. And then,
or as little as possible.
Yeah. And then as soon as we can next week, maybe Tuesday, at least by Wednesday for sure, we'll have a episode 7 take 2 reaction, just kind of our thoughts after we've had some time. We'll rewatch the show, look at some non-book reader reviews, maybe even some book reader reviews, Dusty Wheel stuff, Daniel Green stuff, whatever. Take some of that information in. We'll give a second thought. And then, of course, we'll do it all over again with the final episode, number 8. We'll do a reaction next week.
Yeah, let them know how next week's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
You're probably already doing
so
that.
I will be out of town. I'm going to go head up and see some of my family. So it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to try to get you still everything as close to on time as possible. But sometime on Friday, you'll get that reaction, hopefully. With the two of us, we'll just be in different places, so it may be a little different format than normal. And then the live on Saturday, depending on how internet is, I'll at least be on for chat and talk with y'all. If I can do more, maybe on as like a Discord live with them, so they can have that y'all can still see me. So we'll see how that is. And then finally, on the first of the year, a couple weeks out, be looking forward to a live, just basically wrapping up the season and then giving y'all and us talking together about season 2 predictions and all that fun stuff. So yeah, I guess maybe we can get started a little bit. What are we thinking about the show overall, and how do we feel like we're comparing to everybody else? We're gonna try to hedge as little as possible. We're gonna get our kind of opinion-y, disclaimer-y things out of the way at the beginning. That way we don't have to continue to do it and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, just the show in general. I am loving the show. I had a lot of expectations coming in that I was hoping they weren't going to change a lot from the books, and of course they have. And honestly, the more time that has gone on, I have become more and more okay with changes. Obviously, there's some core things that I feel need to stay there. One of which was definitely locked in on this episode, which was Rand being the Dragon Reborn.
That was going to have to be a
that
thing.
That was my thing. I mean, I was kind of if that was
on our reaction.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know? Rand is the Dragon Reborn.
I know. And for a long time, we knew from the beginning that Rafe had said that was the case.
Right.
But, you know, until we see it, there's always the chance.
They did a good job with the misdirection.
There's always the chance that they could have done something else. So I'm glad that happened. And then, but for the most part, I'm enjoying a lot of it. There's definitely some nitpicks. There's definitely some things that they miss. One of our commenters brought up a little tiny thing about this episode, about how
Are you talking about the plot hole?
No, I don't. No, I don't think I'm talking about the plot hole.
okay.
So Rand, the fever dream. They're like off the horse.
Yeah, the plot hole.
The plot hole. Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm calling a plot hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that little thing where
go ahead, because they may not have seen the comment.
Okay, so they're leaving the their house.
Yeah.
He puts them on the horse, laying over the side. And then they ride off, and then you see him enter. This is I don't remember.
Back
if this
to
is
the
all,
Two
is
Rivers.
This all in episode 1. Yeah, I guess it is
Yeah.
all in episode 1. And then back to the Two Rivers. He's walking in Two Rivers, and he's still slung over the side, completely knocked out, kind of thing. So how did he have a fever dream where he's standing up against a tree?
When did they decide to take the time to go wander through the forest for a while? Yeah, I'm calling that one a plot hole.
Yeah, I think they messed up. But anyway, that's the kind of thing where you have to look. Like, I didn't even notice that the first time I watched it. Like, he brought that up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is kind of a little.
I think that was a she, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah,
whoever
she.
it was.
Sorry. Anyway,
sometimes it's hard to tell from usernames. But.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just it's that the fact that we're having to nitpick that hard to find things that are issues is awesome. Is awesome for me. And I know there's a lot of people that are still on the bandwagon of it's terrible and whatever, and we're still even getting those comments.
Yep.
If you haven't noticed, we yesterday on the on our reaction, we pinned one of the dumbest comments to the top. We'll probably keep doing that. I think it's kind of going to be like the pin of the sourdough. Whoever the sourdough is being
or the face
at
bomb.
that point, at that point, that if you don't know sourdough, that's kind of our like the person that's just got a bad attitude, I guess. Troll.
Play on words from an old comment.
Yeah. So anyway, but we're gonna post the sourdough commenter at the top. So if y'all see somebody's post that's pinned, and it's a negative post or whatever, that's probably what it is. So if y'all wanna go in there and show them some love.
Yeah, we joke. We decided let's pin this because we thought it would be funny. We're never ever encouraging rudeness or ugliness,
no,
even to people, but our thought is you post something on a public forum, you're allowing yourself to be responded to, same as us. So anyway, we're overall really that's kind of where we want to make sure we overall we're really liking this show. As I've said lots of times, if we weren't having fun and enjoying this and enjoying the coverage and all of that kind of stuff, then we wouldn't be doing this because we're here to have fun with you guys and all that stuff. And we've been loving the comments. If you have commented on our episode 7 reaction and we haven't responded to you, we're way behind on comments because they have flooded in and it's been awesome. So I think that's probably enough housekeeping. We've got several folks on at this point. So awesome. Let's jump in.
Okay, so cold open. Love the cold open. How did you feel about the basically? I kind of wanted to talk about the pregnant woman fighting and going all nutso with all kinds of combat and karate and things, all
and
the
the
different
cinematography
things.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
cinematography.
So I love the cold open. I published a short with some of my feelings about the cold open. And I have the same feelings. I love.
How's the audio, by the way?
Yeah,
sorry,
if the audio doesn't sound good or whatever else, make sure you're letting us know. We've done some things to kind of fix it. Hopefully, it's going to be much better than last week. Not that it was awful, but hopefully you can hear me the entire time. We even have some things so I can bend over and look and and all that. So hopefully that's going to be good. But yeah, the cold open was great. In my opinion, it was so much fun. I love to see Tigraine kicking butt. Oh, speaking of Tigraine, I don't know that we've really mentioned this video. This live is like totally, dude. Complete book spoilers, both for what could come out of our mouths and what you can put in the chat. You're welcome to use full book spoilers, so be aware that that's where the spoiler level is. This is hardcore red spoilers, and just be aware. And you are welcome to post comments about whatever. We may get into some late book stuff later in this. Y'all might as well. Too. You can say that pause for leaving. Ishamael is probably going to show up at the end of next episode, and whatever else. You're welcome to post all that kind of stuff. Anyway, Tigraine, she was great. Her kicking butt. So there's two thoughts I have about that. One is I've seen several people concerned about the The way the fighting style was done, it's very cinematographic. Words are escaping. I don't know. Cinematic. Look, there's a real word. And it was, and just the style. It was very stylized, kind of almost kung fu movie stylized. I loved it. That, to me, is an extremely taste thing, and I loved it. It took me a moment, like when we first had this slow-mo whoosh thing, whatever else. It took me a moment to, this is what we're doing. Yeah. And so I did have that moment of adjusting to this is the style we're going with. And after that, I loved it. I like all the kung fu movie type stuff and some of the stylized fighting. I thought that was so much fun to watch. Now, the other thing, and a big question that several people have had, and it's absolutely a worthwhile question, is the pregnant woman, and not only just pregnant, but in labor woman kicking butt and fighting. Now, this was almost certainly over the top. And there was absolutely some fantasy suspension of disbelief things for sure, and maybe even a lot depending on your perspective. But I would like to throw out that it is well known. I've heard literal doctors say this, and midwives and other people in my life for real, that your level of physical activity before you were pregnant affects what your level of physical activity should and could be while you're pregnant as well. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she was able to do some butt kicking is, again, went probably more far than real life. Not probably, it did. But the fact that she was able to do some physical activity is not completely and utterly, unbelievably unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And I can see why you would have a problem with that. I didn't. I loved it. I thought it was super cool. The other issue, and I'll let you talk about this one because I think we have the same feelings still, unless your feelings have changed, on the veil and her pulling the veil. And we've had some good comments around she should have been veiled. And I will say before I turn it over to you that a true Aiel that grew up an Aiel and was always an Aiel, which she wasn't, in case you don't know. Again, you could still have an issue with it, but a true Aiel, it would be very second nature, and she would not have gone back into fighting without putting that veil on. A book Aiel, right? And so, noting that is true, strictly speaking. We have some thoughts on that. I think he shares mine. If he doesn't, I'll chime in with my extra thoughts. So
for me, the thing is she obviously is going through a lot. She's about to have a baby. And so I think the thought, first of all, there's a couple different things. There's the thought of just in general, she felt like she needed to breathe, so she pulled it down. And she had kind of stopped fighting at that point. There was nothing around her. She was settling down.
The first time, for sure.
When she pulled it down.
She was trying to have a baby.
Exactly. And then, of course, the guy came back in and started attacking. And, of course, that's when she would have pulled it back up. But I think for cinematic reasons, for me, I think this is why I was really okay with it, is we only had so long to really be with this character. Who knows if we'll ever see her again at all for 8 seasons? Probably not. Maybe she might be thrown in something, as a flashback or whatever, but probably not. And so we only had so long to really connect with that character on a personal level, on a whatever. And so for us to only see from here up, it's hard. They did that with the Mandalorian for us to,
even worse. No face.
For us to not see any face, with the Mandalorian, it's hard to connect with that character. And eventually they kind of cheated and pulled his helmet off because they wanted that to be really impactful at the end of that season. Same here. I think that it just increased the level of closeness you felt with her and the feeling she was feeling and what she was trying to go through. And then, of course, the final knife in the face that, oh crap, I'm not even going to be able to have my kid. I'm dying here and this guy's going to kill me now kind of thing. Like all of that, I think only was the impact of it was only increased with the fact that we could see all of her expression and all of her face. And so while I agree that probably, like you said, a full Aiel that had been raised from whatever, it would have been instantaneous. Oh, there's a sword at me. I'm pulling this up at the same time of trying to, block or do whatever. And so, but
if they keep the veil being down in the future with future IEL, then
exactly.
that definitely will have a bigger problem with that for sure.
If it's a thing where it's like, oh, I'm tired and I'm running, so I'm going to pull it down, and then I'm going to keep fighting. Yeah, no, whatever. But
so quick PSA. Okay. We have my lovely wife helping us out with comments today and manning that comment section, and we appreciate her greatly. She's here. I don't think she's going to join us on camera, which is totally fine. But so she's manning us in the comment section. So shout out. Her name is Rochelle, and you can shout out and say she's awesome, because I'm telling you right now, she is. If you met her in real life, you would agree with me. So we're going to kind of try to go scene by scene and go back to comments between the scenes, and so. I'm not seeing anything that she's shared with us about the cold open yet, but she gave some comments from before that are definitely worth pointing out. Shelly Sadai says that after episode 1, just put her book knowledge on the shelf as much as she could and went with the show, and she's loving it. Every episode is better than the last. I don't know that I would rank them in that order, but personally, but I agree. There's the changes have been so much fun, and it was said in our last reaction video on episode 7 that I'm actually getting and I think Jonathan said this on this live. We kind of going back and forth and reading and talking. Sometimes we accidentally forget what the other person has said. Yeah. But I'm actually really enjoying the changes, and they're a lot of fun. There is one, the Rand reveal. I have some new thoughts on that we may get into in this live, and almost certainly we'll get into in our take 2 reaction, because I'm actually not really liking some things about that at this point. But
how it was revealed, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, that and the way the mystery played out over the course of the season, some hindsighty thoughts. But again, I may get into that in this reaction. We'll definitely get into it in our take 2 reaction. But yeah, so loving it overall. The changes are super fun.
Prasad Shiram, the horse thing is a minor continuity error which can be forgiven.
Agreed.
Completely agree. That's exactly why I was saying it. It's if we're having to pick apart that hard, right? It's pointless. Yeah. We both agree.
I'm gonna mess up your name, I'm sure, but Gayeth Hakam has had a couple of comments. Obviously, it's been in some of our lives before, or at least watched them.
Hi, all of you again.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate all the great comments. Says, I'm wondering why they credit her with her Wetlander name. Are they skipping that? Oh, so Tigraine, assuming Tigraine. And I don't remember, my memory is fuzzy. Either. I know she's got different name. Gonna have to pop that in the comments and remind us exactly. And I'm sure they'll just go one name for her, regardless, because that just for ease of audience, just guessing. You have to remind us what the different names is and remind us of the backstory there. He also asked, Jonathan, did you finish the last book already?
No, I am almost at the end of what am I in? What's the
Towers of Midnight?
Towers of Midnight,
which is one of the most dramatic names of the whole series. Love it.
I'm getting through it. It's almost done. I'm gonna try really hard this week to it. Just there's been so much going on at work that I try at work when I'm doing mundane things to be listening to it, but I've had so much things that I've had to be sitting there thinking about, a lot of PHP coding and stuff that just I cannot do that and listen at the same time. I can listen to music and other things that don't take my mind away.
You don't do all your PHP coding by copying pasting from somewhere else.
No. So anyway, So I'm at the end of 13. Got one more full book after. I think I've got a couple hours.
Anything awesome happened recently?
No.
Well, I don't trail too far.
Yeah,
you need to post shorts.
I know.
Things that are exciting.
I actually had one in my mind that I was going to do today, so maybe y'all watch out for that later. I'll try to post a short about where I'm at.
So Joshua Salar says, my first thought was, oh great, pregnant woman about to give birth in dangerous situation trope. How original. But after the scene played out, I was just blown away. That is a really good point. And I didn't even think about the fact that if they had done it like a lot of people have suggested because I was thinking originally they could have, somebody commented, or maybe even 2 or 3 people have commented. Well, there's been so many comments on that video. But that they could have had her basically in labor and in danger, and some other Aiel protecting her. And yeah, that would have been how it would have been done before.
Yeah,
and this being different, I didn't even think about that angle, and agree 100%.
Yep. So Prasad Shiram, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Her G and toe balanced out. Yep, that's
awesome.
so true.
Yep.
Jude Dornish, she pulled the veil down to give birth, which was a signal. It is a signal that a Borderlander would have understood, and so should have the comrades. What I don't know.
Camaraderie. Yeah.
Comrades. Oh yeah, comrades.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, that's a very decent point. They should have respected the not veiled Aiel. There's all kinds of little ways, nitpicking, whatever else, all kinds of different story things, and there's so many layers in this that are happening. Yeah.
Joshua Sailor.
Yeah, it says examples are the Aiel veil, the ageless. I don't know examples of what we're talking about. I don't know if there was a previous comment or something. Ageless Aes Sedai, the lack of emotion shown by the Aiel Sedai. I don't know what. Sorry. Is there a previous comment?
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, she's gonna pull up Joshua's previous comment. We'll figure out what we're talking about.
Sandan
Shael, we had several. Well, that's her non-Wetlander name. I bet you almost anything that they. Well, I don't know. They may bring some of that. I could see, like when we actually go to Rodion and we do get more backstory on the Aiel, they may bring some of that up. But if they do Wetlander and Aiel and Aiel name and all that kind of stuff, it will be after some of that stuff goes down with the Egwene, almost for sure. Yeah.
He said so many things I'm realizing are not translatable to the screen.
Not translatable to. Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually,
the Joshua Sailor's comment. Yeah.
So many things are not translatable to the screen. That's a really good point. The Ageless Aes Sedai. I thought about that too on one of the scenes in this where Moiraine comes out, but I really liked how they did that, where she came out looking worse for Grimm.
Which doesn't have anything to do with her ageless look, by the way.
No. It was like, oh my gosh, she looks like sickly, like something's happened to her after going through the wind.
I will say that a lot of that most of the Aes Sedai, I mean, as best as they could, right? You can't, again, like Joshua says, we can't really translate the ageless Aes Sedai without some weird CG that's going to be extremely off-putting.
Yep.
But honestly, most of the Aes Sedai we've seen on screen do have a certain amount of ageless look to them, and I've seen some people that it's funny how we interpret things in our head, and it's different, and I mean funny, everybody pulls things through their own filter. And I've seen some people commenting on the agelessness and kind of thinking that refers to ageless beauty, like what we might refer to a goddess in mythology or something, which I never took it that way remotely. It's just we couldn't tell whether they were young or old. In fact, we had one commenter say that Moiraine looked like crap coming out, basically what you're talking about. And another commenter very astutely put out that even ageless Aes Sedai are gonna look like crap when they almost die.
Yeah, I think I took it as more just there's people I've ran across a lot of people where I look at them and I think, are you in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s? Kind of like Jennifer Aniston, for instance. She's really pretty, but she for a while looked the same age, and a lot of that makeup and how she presented herself in public and all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of how I took it, and all of the females that they've had as Aes Sedai, I feel have that kind of same idea. I loved Sandan Glocka's teeth, his comment. I think Tam noticed that, and I think you're talking about Tam noticing the fact that she had her veil down, and that's a really cool point. I mean, it's
very honorable Tam.
Yeah.
One,
exactly.
We did have another comment on the video that I hope we see in the future. They were sad that we didn't get to see Tam fighting, and his essentially. I'm kind of reading between the lines that they didn't post all the words I'm about to say, but they basically wish that we would have seen the Blade Master Tam, basically. And yeah, it'd be awesome to see that. But remember, I mean, early on in the series, we don't see men doing much of anything intelligent or awesome for quite a while. And so, yeah, I'm excited. Some of the stuff at the end, like where Jonathan is and even before, a little before that with Tam, I'm so excited to see future Tam and see some of his
That's one of my
backstory and some
favorite
of the
parts
Rand.
of book 12 was Tam and Rand and
So good.
And the father son thing and Rand going back and running into his father's arms. It was really good. Go to Gaith Hacham. Yes, coding and listening is horrible. I understand. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, thank you for being on my team there. It is difficult. Joshua Saylor, so many things I'm realizing are not translated. Oh yeah, that's the same
comment.
one. Sorry, Liam G. Saw one person saying that about Moiraine. Let's be fair. She's still beautiful.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, agreed. That she's lovely actress, even in her sadness.
Ageless Aes Sedai would look like Cats, the movie.
I don't know if you heard what he said. Did you read the comment again?
Ageless Aes Sedai would look like Cats, the movie.
Yeah, Nocte said
Nocte. Thank you.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Agreed.
So let's go back.
Yeah, let's go back and kind of. There's a few more comments Rochelle's popped on here, and we'll get to some of yours again in a minute. Let's continue talking about the episode.
So next scene is the ways. Obviously. Yeah. I again still hold to the fact that I don't like the way gates, just because I think they're not ornate enough. I think they just kind of look out of place, and everything architecturally in this show has been really, really good and on point as far as I'm concerned.
Rochelle, could you try to pull up the scene in the ways where Padon, like the flash of lightning with Padon Fane? I'm curious, like real early on. Mm-hmm. It flashes lightning. We see him in the background. I'm curious whether some people have said he's holding a leaf, and I don't know if it's they're talking about. And I'm curious.
Or if it's when he comes out.
Yeah,
I didn't notice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know that there was like a deleted scene that showed the leaf and all that kind of stuff and whatever else. But I was curious whether that was kind of a blink, like super blinking you missed it Easter egg in this episode. It may be hard to pause. We'll let her do that, and you can continue while she tries to find that.
You can use your space bar to play and pause if you want to. That's pretty. Anyway, so the ways. Yeah, I really don't like that architecture, but other than that, when we got into it, I was very pleased. I thought we were going to be more the way they kind of made the rocks formation right at the beginning of the gate before you actually got in. I thought for some reason the next
be very mazy.
Episode was going to be more mazy and very closed, and there wasn't going to be this broad open space of nothingness, which is part of the ways to me in the books. And so when they actually got going and I
did really like the visuals of seeing, and when the light, the lightning flashes, of course not book accurate, but at first I was thinking, I don't know if I like it even in the show, but I do like that it allowed them to have these flashes of kind of the ways and it opening up behind them and seeing essentially pathways crossing, and not quite MC Escher stuff, but like more that kind of thing where we could see there are other paths and the way gates go other places, like Stargate. You mean it goes other places? Whatever else. But yeah.
MC Escher was a good point. I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. The Trolloc jumping out was fun.
Oh yeah. And I went back and looked at his face.
I put up that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's got that scene up. She's gonna pop that up and.
That's all.
Oh, it's on. Yeah. Oh. So can we see a leaf? Is he holding anything?
I don't see one. I mean, it doesn't look like he's holding anything.
She says she doesn't look like so. Maybe we'll take and brighten that up and whatever else. And maybe it was just in the deleted scene. I don't know. But
it may have been.
I loved that he was there. And I think probably because of that deleted scene, I think it's safe to confirm that they can use the leaf and the key and all that kind of stuff, and we probably will see that later.
That definitely fixed the end of episode 6 for me, at least, because the whole her having to channel thing was just like whatever.
It was frustrating.
Frustrating
for
me.
While.
Yeah, but I was trying to think. Oh, we were talking about the Trolloc. The Trolloc is. The Trolloc is kind of like really messed up. he looks very
Yeah,
like he's been torn apart or almost
he looked like he'd been stuck in
zombified,
there for a while.
even though they're ugly to begin with, but he was like intensified as far as his ugliness. And I went back and looked at it and watched it. I was like, oh, it's not just a normal Trolloc. So I love that they added that in there, that it's just like, it's scary in that place. And even for the Trollocs, it's scary in that place. They don't want to be in there. They're just, they're
maybe not
around.
quite as bad as Shadar Logoth for them, but especially movie version and the books.
Sure.
The Murdral was at least able to kind of whip the Trollocs to go into
Shadar Logoth.
But so then of course the climactic bit of the ways is as we see at the end of the episode. Oops, Rand channeled. Thinking it was Egwene. I'm sorry, I did it. I'm liking. I felt a lot like in this episode in particular, the Egwene right now, it kind of reminds me of like Katara at the beginning part of Avatar: The Last Airbender. When I go back and rewatch that show, it's like, oh my gosh, I really am ready for Katara to get super powerful. I feel the same way with Egwene. I'm ready. I'm so excited about End Egwene and where that's headed. But right now, especially experiencing the show for the first time, enjoying the naivete of Egwene right now. And there have been several little moments where that happened. And I don't remember what that had to do with the ways, but except for that she was there. Was I talking about something with the ways? Did I lose my train of thought? I don't know.
Possibly. We're talking where I think you were about to go into the Nynaeve explosion.
Oh, Ray, yeah, her. That's what it was. Her taking credit for the channeling. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Egwene taking
whatever
credit.
else.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then we rushed to Fal Dara, of course, which is similar-ish to the way that all that happens in the book. We were pretty right on our prediction there. The ways was the
Very
look
short.
but it was short, and it happened a lot like it happened in the book. I mean, not quite, but there's very similar beats.
I honestly thought we were going to get more because of the flashback thing that we knew had to happen, and some of the other things. I thought we were going to have more like a sit around the campfire and tell campfire stories kind of thing,
right?
Which we didn't. It was super.
And I'm not sad that we didn't.
I'm not sad at all that we didn't. How are you feeling at this point with the
Nynaeve explosion,
wilder channeling?
So I said I wasn't thrilled about that in our reaction because my reason was, if you didn't see that video, was because I don't want that to become her thing, and I still don't want that to become her thing. But rewatching that scene, both to pull clips and stuff, and then rewatching it last night, it is really hard not to get chills in that scene. It's just Nynaeve just wins me over every time, and this one included. And I, again, like I pointed out in our reaction, I do like the visual contrast between the explosion of a Wilder just exploding with rage and with power and whatever else, not controlled at all, and then Moiraine. Her training and her, that all of that happening, very precise weaves and all of that. So I liked the visual contrast with that and I still like it. And so I'm feeling much. It's just, she just gets me. Zoe Robbins, man. I mean, she's doing such a good job. It's hard to even remotely, it's like, somebody that's saying something ugly, but they have so much charisma that, you can't hate them. You can't. It's just, and that scene I'm feeling the same way about.
Yeah.
What about you? All of that.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. I loved the fact that she, every time it seems like it's a little bit not quite book accurate in the fact that her channeling was always when she was, I say that it's always when she was angry, and I guess she is angry that she can't do anything to help. And I guess that is very book accurate, but it's very, it's comical because she really doesn't know what she's doing. And it looks that way. It's like, I'm just walking out in here and I'm going to try something and I'm just gonna, it's almost like,
I'm so mad.
Yeah. Like Super Saiyan almost kind of thing. It's hilarious. I mean, we made that joke about it because her hair went back in the first one or whatever, but anyway, no, I liked it. I again think that they're going to have to start, and I think they will do this. They're going to have to start at some point showing her that she can't access it all the time.
Yeah, we're going to have to see her block.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh. Shelley Sadice
said I think
we're about to jump full back into comments here and say, we'll
No, that's good.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it.
It's
That was
awesome.
really it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is time to jump back into comments. We can start with that one. We'll go a little bit out of order here. So Shelly
Go for
Sadai does say, I think Nynaeve's supernovas are the way the show is going to portray her channeling until she breaks her block.
Yep.
That's almost certainly true. I hope that is true. And I hope that we see a lot of failed attempts early on, and which almost certainly we'll see in the tower.
Yeah.
They're probably going to go to the tower and whatever
And
else.
knowing how she turns out in the end, where she's so advanced and more powerful than many of the people around her.
Yes.
And-
Well, more
and when
powerful.
she-
I don't know about advanced. but-
No, and then knowing all the weaves that she knows.
Oh,
compared
later.
to, late.
I was reading. I probably didn't hear you say that.
No, and so I'm excited about where they're going to take that, because I think they're going to have to basically show, she can't channel every time she wants to, and then kind of almost this opening of when she finally is able to break her block, and then it's going to be like her almost timidness that she's showing now is going to turn to being very almost cocky at some point, and then they're going to have to tame that back too. There's going to be a beautiful arc with her, is all I'm saying.
We've got a lot of character arc. I've seen several people say on different comments talking about character arcs, and the show is terrible. They're not giving the actors time for their character arc. It's season 1. They're world building.
Yeah.
I mean, and I can actually see, well, I don't know. Again, I don't know if we're going to get into it in this live. I don't know if we're going to have time to go as deep as what I'm thinking. But in our take 2 reaction of this, there are some things that I think they could have changed with character arc and whatever else. So I'm going to get into that for sure. Okay. And I think they could have done some things differently. But I think we've got lots of time for character arc. I love Bob Dole's comment.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we expressed.
We've been hoping. Yeah.
So Bob Dole says, honestly, I'd given up on the series after episodes 1 through 3. 4 brought me back and got me hyped. 5 through 6 made me lose hope again.
Yep.
Then the 7th got me convinced on the potential for season 2.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that are feeling very similar to that.
And I that's what I've been saying this whole time, is I hope after the Rand reveal,
especially
because I know that was all a big thing for a lot of them. There can't be multiple, there can't be a female, all
which
these
we
things,
agree with.
Which
the ultimate.
I honestly have come around to the fact that I would love to see a Wheel of Time reboot,
another turning of the wheel.
Another turning of the wheel 10 years down the road after they get done with this one. Where somebody else is the dragon, and even a female, I'd be totally fine with it.
It could be interesting
if it was completely separate.
Maybe
this time, I think
maybe
it
as
was
an anime. Maybe that's the anime that
I think it was important
for.
that they stuck with Rand, and I think that Rand, the fact that Rand is, I hope that brings a lot of these people that are so anti the show back into it to go, okay, well, maybe they're not changing everything.
The hardcore sourdoughs, nothing's going to change. But, so Shelly Sadai says, LOL, in the first stage, we called that agelessness Botox. Absolutely. Love that.
Oh, that's funny. Tam. See, Nocte said Tam removing his coif. Coif. I don't know how to say it. Yeah. For her to feel secure was pretty awesome. Yes, basically his helmet. Yeah.
The only thing that wasn't, that I didn't love about that is I don't, and he looked gross because he was in battle, right? That's fine. But I don't know if they did some de-aging CG or something.
Yeah.
But something about it, and I don't know whether it was practical. It was just a little bit off-putting for me, and it took me out of that.
Honestly, it was something, either makeup or some kind of de-aging thing that just, it was like, and I know I
think that combined with him looking nasty from fighting, which I think was perfect.
Yep.
So
but anyway, let's see. Tam unveiled himself. Yeah, good point.
Himself,
yeah,
for
that
sure.
is a good point.
Fun fact: Moraine's Wii was in the shape of a fold leaf. Yeah, and I noted that, or we talked about that too. And it probably was. And it definitely was, and that is kind of cool. If that's the only nod back to it, then we would still probably, or especially Jonathan, would have a problem with it. I'm not having a whole huge problem with the ways in general. I said that before, and I feel the same way because I could kind of take or leave the ways. Yeah. Because eventually they're going to become obsolete anyway. But
somehow Pod and Fane got out, and he doesn't. Well.
We think full book spoilers in this.
We think
this
he
video.
can't channel,
right? They could be doing something weird, some change. So, I doubt it at this point.
Anyway,
they could be.
So that makes me okay with it. Is all I'm trying to say.
I think Bulldog says Nynaeve's channeling fits her persona, protection, 100%. The healing in the first time, and the shield here protect. Absolutely.
I wonder if Nocta says. I wonder if Nynaeve will get recursions for channeling with no training. Is like repercussions maybe.
Yeah.
Like if
maybe.
somebody will get onto her for it, or if it hurts her in some way. I don't know.
As you know. I don't know if you are one of the maybe 2 or 3 Wheel of Time show fans out there that haven't heard of Everyday Negroes yet, go watch their channel. Do yourself a favor because they are some of the best non-book readers. So much fun. But as they would say, Sister Strongjaw is may get after her at that point.
they have some really fun because they're non-book readers.
Most of you have seen seen them.
Yeah.
We're
some
preaching
really
the choir,
fun. Really fun names for everybody in the books.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Yes. So MJ Daniel, I would like to see most, if not all, of the awkward argument scene cut for more world building with Loyal or something like that.
Assuming you're talking about later, and we'll get into the awkward argument scene, what we've termed the teenage drama scene.
No, I think he's talking about something else. Oh no, maybe you are. The awkward. Yeah, you are that later scene. Gotcha.
I think So we'll pick back that. We'll pick that comment back up when we get to that part for sure.
Dornish.
Yeah.
Ungendered Souls is perhaps the biggest departure from canon.
It is a departure from canon. I kind of doubt Robert Jordan would have had a problem with it because of with the Masana stuff. It depends on where they go with it. So far, I think that's fine.
No, he was very progressive
for his time.
So I think he would be fine with it.
Yeah.
Anafa Zila Podon Fane has a leaf to open the way.
That's almost certainly true. I don't know if you were on yet when you commented that. We were curious whether it has been a visible thing in the show or whether that was just in that deleted scene. So I mean, that's almost certainly true. But yeah, that'd be cool.
It's extra footage.
Mantis. And that I wonder, is that extra footage? Is that in actual behind the scenes stuff, or was that some of the stuff that they leaked? I don't know because I haven't watched all the behind the scenes footage stuff. What I have seen is great. Yep. By Ginger Ninjas, exactly.
NJ Daniel. I like their name.
Yeah. They've got so many good ones. I love that Hamed actually put Brother Book on his Twitter or Instagram and referred to himself as that. I love that their stuff is totally permeating the Wheel of Time culture. It's awesome.
It's great.
It's lovely that we have become, not just we, but we collectively have become aware that they exist because they're awesome.
Oh yeah. I think we're definitely Brother Tarwin's Gap said, I think we're going to definitely need a significant
that's not
time
his
jump.
Name, and I love his name. His name is Brother Tarwin's Gap Tooth.
Oh,
which is
Gaptooth.
awesome, by the way.
It is awesome. It is. Need a significant time jump somewhere in season 2 so those girls get some White Tower training. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I've been nervous about saying that out loud, but Matt Hatch did it, and they made a joke about it. So I thought, well, I'll do it too.
Yeah, we might be shadow banned or whatever it's called now for saying that word, but it's fine.
It wasn't the other word. I know it's basically the same in most contexts. I know, but
it's their name. They chose to use it. So.
And again, Matt Hatch, who's like the whitest human on the planet, said it. So we're gonna roll
that is
with
the
it.
Truth. That is the truth. All right, so
let's jump back to the next bit.
What is after that? The arrival in Fal Dara. Fal Dara.
Fal Dara.
I thought like some dyslexicness there. I don't think I am, but who knows? Know. So.
Them grumping around at each other and Moiraine being like, look, don't listen to the ways, and her looking like crap. All of them looking like crap and all of that stuff.
And we don't have to get super into it because I think we are going to get into it in the
we'll get into it right
here.
In
the take about? 2, but specifically that their whole grumping around at each other and being mad and getting the intense.
Well, and we get more of that
combat.
Later too. That we can.
I guess that's true. Really, so this is about how they're accepted, and I love we didn't talk about that.
They're accepted.
They're
what
accepted
do you mean?
Into Fal Dara. I keep saying that. How they're when they first come in and how everybody treats them. How Lan gets treated when he walks in. We didn't even talk about that in our reaction. I love the way he is so like just loved by all the people there. Like they're like, oh man, it's Lan.
Oh,
how's it going,
Oh,
bud?
and we
You know?
saw it. We didn't mention. I did note it, and was super excited about it. We did see Uno, and he cursed.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course he cursed.
Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
he probably should have cursed more.
Yeah.
But we saw. Now I'm trying to remember. Listen to the comment. And it's fine. I actually kind of like it better than book version if he's not. But was Uno short in the books? Because clearly the actor is quite short, which I quite love actually, and I'm super excited to see him in the future. But was Uno short in the books? 'Cause I don't remember.
I don't know.
But his eye patch was great, very ornate, which was very Uno, and he cursed, which is great.
Yep.
Yeah, and the dude there, whatever his name was, I think he's a new invention. Somebody said that that other guy, the other top knot guy that meets Lan, was originally supposed to be Ingtar, and then something happened with casting or something. I don't even know. And now it's, I think, Lord Yokoto or Yokota. I don't even remember something. I'd have to go back and look at the X-ray to see for sure. But anyway, yeah, all of that stuff was interesting. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Somebody talked about that it was very formalized and whatever, and them having a problem with that. I mean that's a formalized entrance and people like walking and standing in certain ways, and it's in a throne room setting. I mean that's very like historically like a cultural entrance
thing. Which
I mean that was fine.
Yeah. And somebody else had commented on that they didn't like the way that the king kind of
Agomar,
Agomar kind of went at Moiraine, where he didn't. He was almost like I can't remember the
only
word
a
they
piece
used.
of his character from the book, but
yeah, I can't remember the word they used. But anyway, they're just basically saying that he was
somebody
kind of,
said so now Agomar is an idiot, which I don't even know what that
wasn't that wasn't it. Just that he was kind of uppity. He was like I'm above you or
right.
whatever. And I didn't get that at all. I got the
he wasn't as openly verbally accepting of Aes Sedai as he probably is in the book.
Yeah.
That much is probably true.
Yes, I get that. And but I think that really it was just he sees them show up out of nowhere, didn't get any kind of warning, and he's thinking, okay, they're coming because they have heard my sister, because she's the one that's attached to the White Tower, talking about the fact that
his pride was offended, and
yeah, exactly. And so I think that's all that was really. I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, and so there are some things with Agomar that we've seen so far. And we're almost certainly going to see more of him in the next episode, and maybe even later. Who knows exactly what's going to go on with that? But excuse me. Some things that I thought were correct with Borderlanders is we got. Now it was more directed at Moiraine, which is probably incorrect because they do have more respect for Aes Sedai than women in general. But you do in the book. I just recently reread Eye of the World, and he's kind of a little bit pompous at to say the least, and definitely kind of not thinking a lot of the other women in the group. And now he is excited that Moiraine is there, and it's like, come fight with us, and Lan, come fight with us. Moiraine, we need you, Lan, we need you, Moiraine, and whatever else. And so his character wasn't quite right in the books, but he was very prideful. I mean, that's like a trait of Borderlanders, being prideful and whatever else. And I feel like what we haven't, like a lot of characters in season 1, we haven't seen a ton of them. And so I think there were some strong pieces there. I loved, you didn't mention, and I didn't even really notice it because I was trying to just remember from my history of reading the books or whatever, the different symbols and whatever else, and the golden crane and the black hawk and what that was. And so I was spending a lot of time in mental bandwidth trying to remember those bits and the symbology there that I totally missed because I was putting it together in my head and just kind of dismissing it as part of the black hawk thing. But him wear his cowl of raven feathers. What a cool Easter egg because of the bounty on ravens, and basically this was his native, what the scalps. It was Raven scalp, essentially.
Raven scalps. That's
basically,
funny.
and
Yeah.
just the sheer amount of them.
Yeah.
What a cool. I don't remember who pointed it out in the comments, but that is so fun and so cool. I love it a lot.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's thing. Yeah, let's jump back in the comments for a minute, right?
Yeah,
Is that all you want to say about that throne?
Yeah,
scene?
that's it.
I love Moiraine putting him in his place. That was
Oh
awesome.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like he might have been a little pompous. He might have been a little rude to her a little bit more than whatever. But man, he sure turned around when she was like, if you'll let me finish speaking.
And he did. And he listened to her
He did.
as well. And
He did.
And
then he recognized, that's another thing. He recognized, okay, I'm sorry. I was kind of rude to you. And, welcome to being here, kind
exactly.
of thing.
He was, they play that like he was frustrated that these people, his sister has, oh my gosh, she's not having faith in me and whatever else. And so it was good.
I love that finish. Anufa Zila said the actors are loving the Watt YouTube communities. That's great. I'm glad I hadn't.
It seems like that.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen anything more recent. I wonder, has there been interviews and stuff about after the show's been released? I know before that they were talked about that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Super fun.
Jude Dornish, the girls didn't really get much training in the tower.
That is true.
No. Yeah.
They which I'm excited about the what do the community call them? The Super Sisters, the Nynaeve and Egwene going out to do their or whatever else.
Yeah.
I'm excited. There's so much stuff that I'm excited about for the future. It's going to be so much fun. So Shelly said, I haven't read your comment yet, but I bet it's funny. Egwene gets like 90% of her oh, it's not funny, but it's good. Egwene gets like 90% of her training while as a Damane and with
the Aiel.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the stuff with the Damane is going to be is with the way we're going with this show. That's going to be intense and not pleasant to watch and perfect. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be more freaking Game of Thrones comparisons after that comes out.
Mostly by ignorant folks and some legitimate.
And I've said it before. I know you've probably already heard me say it, but
we're not hedging.
No. It's I think everyone forgets how intense these books are because of the way they're written. It's a lot more lighthearted, even in the really intense scenes, like the fact that someone is literally, collared and being tramped around like a dog. Almost.
Gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be intense. Anyway,
so Winter on the Web says the only problem that Ungendered Souls presents is actually in the Resurrected Forsaken. Their souls are put back in other bodies, and this causes problems when women channeling Saidin. Yeah, and absolutely, and it's we try to, and I doubt that this is kind of what this person was thinking. But it makes me think of something that I should have added to the beginning PSA stuff. But we generally try our best for ourselves and what we present to you guys to not dislike something in the show because of what we think they might do.
Yeah.
In the future. Generally, I mean, we think about those things, of course, just like y'all do, but we, and so we'll see some things and it could lead to some plot holes and some weirdness, and we will definitely see on that one.
Yep. Gates said book 2 has a 7-month jump, so I think it's doable. I agree. Yeah, I think they will have a time. Well, either a time jump or something.
Yeah, we're gonna our New Year's Day morning live stream is gonna be super fun because there are so many awesome predictions and thoughts about season 2 and 3. And in the future, it's gonna be super cool.
I need more Uno. He looked great.
MJ said.
Yeah, that's good.
I love Uno's look right now as well. I love all the scarring and all. It's just super awesome.
Yep.
So Anufa says that actor is short, but I love Uno.
Think so, kind of stocky.
And
MJ.
Yeah, MJ was thinking he might have been short.
Anufa Zila, did you guys notice that Uno did not start cursing as much until later on in the books? I did not.
Didn't think about that. Now it definitely leads to some of the more comedic. I love some of the scenes with him cursing and trying not to curse in front of Moiraine. So that is something that I feel like this episode in particular, and we'll get more of this in our take 2 reaction, I'm sure. This is something I definitely want to go into some good detail on. is this episode, one of the best things about this episode to me is it brought some of, not all, but it brought some of the charm and the fun of Wheel of Time. Excuse me. Back now, I know it had some heavy stuff, but that's something that's missing from this adaptation right now, and I know they're kind of going for the grittier tone. So many things in Hollywood and whatever are doing that, and hopefully they learn from things like Thor Ragnarok and some of these others. Whether it's a good example or not, you decide. But some of the comedy and like. I do like the way they handled like the Swan and Nynaeve meeting in the show, and I think it fit, both from a timing standpoint and from the way they're presenting the tone here. But I would have loved to seen the super comedic, super awesome scene of Nynaeve wrapping Swan up in weaves. So we're missing some of the fun and charm, and so I hope that they start adding some of that, and they have a little bits. I hope we continue to get more and more of that as it goes on.
The bigger this has got, and I hope it continues, or at least the bigger it seems to be. I think the show is getting a lot of positive and negative media attention, but the positive and I guess positive and negative
is starting to outweigh the negative.
Yes, which is great. And I think the positive is growing it so much that hopefully they'll have enough viewers that it's like, okay, we're not only going to give you as many seasons as you want or as many whatever, but we're going to give you a whole lot more money, which gives you a lot more time, which gives you a lot more ability to do some of those things that you're talking about, a little bit more character, fun stuff.
Hopefully they'll have some more breathing room as we continue.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. And I think they will. Gaith said Uno's actor on Twitter keeps cursing with show curses. He's awesome.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to follow him.
We don't do much Twitter, but
that swears to compensate. That's so funny. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep.
Winter on the web says Agelmar's polite in the books. Yes, a bit more welcoming to the Aes Sedai, but he's not open to listening to them though, and is skeptical until they return from the Eye. Then he's all on board.
That's true. Absolutely true. Yep. Yeah, in the books we see much more kind of that inspired by Minas Tirith in Lord of the Rings, and we are protecting the world from the evil here. This is how we do it. We don't care about fanciful Eye of the World. We don't care about this fanciful ring going to Mount Doom.
Yeah.
We are in the trenches and whatever else. And so he definitely was very that for sure.
Shelley said yes, Winter on the web, especially when they brought back the Horn of Valor. Exactly.
Winter on the way.
I'm ready for the horn. I'm ready for some more Matt. I'm sad that we're losing that we have
Barney
lost
Harris.
Barney Harris.
Yeah, because he does such a great job.
I hope this new guy, I don't even remember the
actor's name.
Yeah, but I hope he does it justice, because there's you made the point that Rand has done some of Matt's
in this episode
comedy in this episode because Matt wasn't there, kind of thing. And I hope we get, because we need that. We need that, like you were talking about, the funniness, the lighthearted comedy.
Yep.
So
Hip Karma says Agelmar acknowledged that he'd offended Moiraine without apologizing.
Offended Moiraine.
I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
He'd offended Moiraine without apologizing. Yeah. Important point for maintaining face. Absolutely. Yep. That's with culturally, the maintaining of face, a lot of the inspirations for the Borderlanders, maintaining face would absolutely be important. Really great point. Yeah.
Shali Tazreen Shibli from the cold opener. Remember, the maiden called it Dancing with Spears, so it only makes sense that it's so stylized. Yeah,
we agree, 100%.
Oh man, I loved it. The scene where she grabs and we saw it early on, where she grabs the cloak of the guy and kind of throws him forward or whatever. We saw a portion of that, but that was so cool. It's just I love The Matrix when it came out, was like, a brand new thing, and I love when people take that and kind of stretch it, and we see new things. And I know that's not necessarily new, and I hope that with the more money they have, they will be able to do some new interesting things with combat. Go ahead with Prasad.
So, Prasad Shiram, but not Shiriam. Missed opportunity.
Shiriam.
I think they are showing Ingtar next season. Yeah, I'd heard that too. And we are going to get Ingtar, which Yeah, again, full book spoilers in this chat. We haven't mentioned this as much as we probably should have. But I love the twist at the end of The Great Hunt because I didn't see it coming at all when I first read the books, and so I hope we get that and it's done well. Because
it's one of the most poignant scenes from the books. Yep. Brother Tarwin's gap tooth. Let it be known here. First, my brothers. Oh, here known first, my brothers meet in mischief. I do believe the humble Mr. Hatch of the Dusty Wheel had a cameo in the series somewhere in the future. Oh, I have a touch of foretelling. Might be just a guess.
That would be awesome. I don't know whether you're getting that from something or you're just hopeful guessing or where that's. But that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be maybe. I hope that if Matt Hatch does get a cameo, then it's like a Peter Jackson Belch moment, something like that. That would be awesome and hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
Gosh, this has been fun. Great.
Yeah, it is. Marco's Goblin. I love how they portrayed Min's vision, and it was really interesting.
Okay,
we'll move on to that.
So we're gonna take a break on comments and get back. We may even go through a few different points. We're taking a
little bit of time.
Yeah, but it's fun. We're having fun, and hopefully y'all are too.
The hallway talk with Moiraine and Lady Amelisa.
Yeah, real quickly, and we'll do that. The next up to men's, we'll go through up to men's bar, I think, before we jump back to comments. So the hallway talk with Moiraine and Lady Amelisa. So that was interesting, and so many of y'all commented and helped me remember and appreciate as always, and the respectfulness with which you have done it. And it is a great tie-in that I had actually forgotten that the ring was given as an accepted and the shawl itself.
I had to,
and I also didn't even remotely think about the Morghese connection and the fact that Morghese has a ring and she was allowed to cast the ring and probably was able to channel even less than what we've seen on Melissa. At least that's the way she's presented in the books for quite a while. And all of that, and so it absolutely makes sense, and it's going to be a great tie-in, and I bet we get more gays and that whole thing, and maybe get a little more explanation for non-book readers and folks as far as this whole royalty thing, getting special treatment and all. Yeah, so that was good.
Yes,
and that's the main thing that came. Oh, actually, one of the things that happened in that I would love to know what y'all think about, because right now, I think I'm down with the little nod because it reads all kinds of conversation and what's going on, both for non-book readers and for book readers alike. And that is Moiraine sicking the red Aja on Matt. And I honestly don't know quite what to think about it yet. And I'm very curious what their plan is for that. I don't know if you've had any thoughts about it, but I'd like to know what y'all think too.
Yeah, no, I don't have any specific thoughts. I was kind of like, wait, why? What is she doing? Like, what is her? Because she always has a purpose behind everything she does. Moiraine is planning and
plans within plans. And
I'm wondering if it's a trap for somebody in the red. Like, there's so many different things that it could be. But anyway, Perrin seeing Pot on Fane that was a fun moment. Like, I love that, and I love the way they're doing the blink and you miss moments in the show. There's just so many different little things that are nods to things for us book readers, but that scene was really cool because he is they're just walking along in the town
and laughing all of a sudden, on his way.
Yeah,
so creepy.
You hear him and you're like, what was that part? I mean, I literally rewound because I was like, I'm pretty sure that was him, and we saw him, earlier, so I knew he was coming. We heard the whistle and all the things,
and saw him.
But I was like, he just walked right in front of Perrin, and Perrin's like, I thought I saw a Pot on Fane.
And Nynaeve's like, no, it couldn't have happened.
Yeah, he's dead, or whatever. It was perfect.
How would she know? She got yeeted off by a trolley.
That's a good point. And I saw how they did the braid thing where they put like a harness on her, and they had this thing where
like behind the scenes on
I like that. That was cool because I was wondering, I was like, how did that would hurt so bad, like all your hair being anyway.
Super cool.
And then the men's bar scene.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happened there. We still, I think you are. I definitely am still a fan of the way they visualize the channeling. Her visions,
ability.
Her ability was super fun. I really liked the Moiraine and Min interaction. Yeah. Right now, we are in the camp that right now, from what we've seen here, now we haven't seen enough to see some of the more playful side of Min and whatever else, and I hope they keep that intact in the future. But we have seen the guardedness of Min and the crypt, and even kind of not being sure of herself with her visions. I felt like that was there, and we kind of got, especially with her and Rand stuff later, we kind of got maybe a tease of some of her more dry sense of humor and stuff. Yeah. And so right now, from what I've seen, I really like Min's character. I think she's.
I enjoyed, and I don't really remember book-wise how accurate it is, but I really enjoyed Moiraine kind of. I don't think it is book accurate, but I'm liking it anyway. How Moiraine was basically like, remember, we're guarding the knowledge of you, and if the Aes Sedai wasn't guarding you, then whatever. And that I didn't think about it at the time, but some comments. I feel
like there was a lot less Aes Sedai that knew about her than that statement implied.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think probably Moiraine kept it close to her chest. At least that's what I thought from the books. Yeah,
which still may be true.
But I love,
she didn't actually say.
That's true. That's true. She's very specific with her words. Yeah, very good at that. But anyway, I really loved how it kind of put her on edge, and then she was not as forthcoming with everything she said, because I was thinking, man, that's all she's seeing, and that's all we're gonna get is just a little Perrin thing, and then whatever, all the little tiny nods that we got.
The big brooding one.
Yeah,
they're both brooding.
They're both brooding.
Love that.
That was great.
So good.
Yeah. So I love that, and especially when you're able to see later on that she wasn't forthcoming. She had a lot more that she knew about Rand than what she told Moiraine, and she waited until she could tell Rand. And so anyway, that is
a good point.
I love that. I loved it.
Super. So the men's bar scene was fun. We can jump in and take a few comments and then jump back. We gotta kind of push forward here.
That's right. So
he's eventually got to go to
church
practice.
Yep, I actually got to go to church. Weird church on Saturday. I know.
Right.
We're in between buildings. We're in between buildings. So I don't even know where we're at.
Marcos Goblin, I think.
Yep.
Love how they portrayed Min's visions, and it was really interesting. Can't wait to see Rand unleashing the power of the dragon. Season finale is going to be awesome. Season finale is going to be I'm excited for our predictions video and all of the things. Good gosh.
Thanks for your encouraging word, Tooth. You guys are a great addition to the other positive shows for the fandom. Thank you, sir. Adrian Park Tucker, Lan also adding some post-Matt humor.
Yes, he did. There's a lot of so we have said before, and I am now after this episode very willing to say that Lan has gotten some significant changes from the book.
Yeah.
He is definitely kind of a lot more like pre-Moiraine Lan, where and whatever else, the Lan that was willing to sit in the river and wait on Moiraine after she, and the way, and I know that was even stoic, but he's not I have become death sort of Lan.
Yeah.
And this show Lan is lighter than book Lan. Yeah. And I love it. I'm enjoying it a lot. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was responding to, but yeah.
Just him getting Lan getting some
humor,
post-Matt
definitely. Yeah.
You can go ahead with Marcos.
Yeah, so Marcos Goblin also said, I think Moiraine was clever with sicking the Red Ajah on Matt, because they would be the fastest to find him, and once they realized he couldn't channel, they would just let him go in Tarvalon. What are we pronouncing it in the show? Tarvalon. That's a good point, and again, there's a lot of different ways to take it, and that's absolutely as good a one as any.
Yeah, MJ said, I think she wants the Reds to keep Matt from the dagger and keep an eye on him.
That's entirely. They would be the most watchful of him.
Yes.
A green might try to build him up and bond him or something. And blues would be dismissive and whatever else. But yeah, the Reds would actually watch him. So that's absolutely. Trippy, Skotakis, maybe. I think that was them trying to combine stories and play with timelines. I would like to see Matt chase the dagger to Falma Save the Girls ran to go to Tyr with Perrin. Yeah, that absolutely they could be doing it. And I wonder, some of the stuff with Matt, I really am I know, with Marnie Harris, some of the stuff was definitely a out of necessity decision. But I wonder how much of some of these things they had already decided to change. Like it would not totally astonish me if they had already planned to have Matt not go.
Yeah.
And whatever else. And so, I mean, happy accidents. Bob Ross always says, being able to use happy accidents is can be a good thing. And turning negatives into positives. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of potential there for sure.
Yeah.
Prasad says Red Aja to find Matt because Leandrin already knows about Matt. So she can find him faster, maybe. Absolutely possible. Nocte.
Oh, yeah. Well, above that, MJ said, Moiraine was raised on the game of houses and has many layers to what she does. Yes. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Episode, that's the best thing about episode 6, far and away. I love seeing Moiraine doing all that. Prasad says, is that where I was? No. Nocte says, maybe we'll still get a duel between Matt Godwin and Galad in Tarvalin if the Reds capture him. Yeah, in Tarvalin or even somewhere else. I hope we see that duel because, that's such a wonderful scene. I bet we do. Surely we do see that duel there because it's so much fun.
Bulldog. Where's Waldo? I mean, Podon.
Yeah, exactly. That is every crowd scene. I'm always scanning.
I know. And I love that. Okay.
Yeah, fun.
Brother, Gaptooth. Let's see. Anyone else's family going to be happy to see the end of season 1? I will begrudgingly admit I have been a little obsessed.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I think my wife, Rochelle, popped that one in when she might be feeling that way. Clearly that's true. She's already coming back.
That's funny.
Yep. Impromptu live chat. Oh yes, please.
Yep. Shali. Shali Tazreen Shibley. Not telling Moiraine and telling Rand is so like men. Yes, her loyalty lies with Rand. That's true.
Well, and it's interesting, and it's I don't know that from watching some non-book reader reaction. I don't know that, and it's great. I don't mind this at all. A little mystery is a good thing, especially done well. But understanding the difference between men and an Aes Sedai, like men can lie. Yeah. And does often, right? Yeah. And so kind of hold, when she chooses to share and what she chooses to share and all of that's super fun.
Yeah, I am a little bit you had told me that that Rafe was saying that he was going to change the love.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what he said
with Rand and the three girls. So I don't know what's going to happen there. You guys may know, so you can definitely comment. But whenever she said, "Oh, I see a baby," and he's holding the baby, I thought and it was just kind of the tiny bit of it's kind of see-through that vision or whatever. Yep. So I'm not sure if I'm right on this.
Brown-headed.
But yeah, it was brown-headed and anyway, so it's just
which still could be basically anybody but Elaine. Yeah. As far as I mean.
Yeah,
still could be
but it kind of looked pale skinned, Anyway, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Who knows? Like a lot of men, like men's foretellings in the book, lots of possible interpretations, which is fantastic.
It's true.
Brother Tarwin's Gap says out there theory. I love out there theories. Attempting to gentle Matt. He comes out looking a little different. Barney's leaving big shoes to fill. Yeah, Barney is definitely leaving big shoes to fill.
Facts that concept art has Matt in Fal Dara and also in front of men.
So probably what they were planning to have him come along.
Yep. Speely76, maybe Moiraine isn't sicking the Red Aja on Matt, but sicking Matt on the Red Aja. That's exactly
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yes.
We'll jump back into the episode. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Super awesome. Again, if you weren't here at the beginning when I said this, my wife is manning the comment section. Lovely Rochelle. And so, thank her too. She's She's really awesome.
Yep.
We love her.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right. So the drama before the conclusion.
So I have a lot to say on this, and so I'm only going to say part of it here, probably because as I'll leave some of it for our take 2 reaction, and not because we're wanting to keep things back, but more because of time. So there's been a lot said on the whole, what we're calling the high school drama, right? And the love triangle thing, and all of that, and their thing. So the things I will say right now, and again, I've got a lot of thoughts on this, so watch it for our take 2 reaction on episode 7, because I'll kind of go into several bits of it. But I like it. And if you would have told me at the beginning of this show that I would like a possible nod to a love triangle with Perrin, Rand, and Egwene, like just a nod or whatever else, and I would be defending it, I would have said, you crazy. And that's stupid. And that is really, really dumb. Yeah. And I mean, we've said that before. Like when other people commented about some of the earlier stuff with this is Perrin and Egwene. And no, they're not in love, whatever else. But here's the things I want to say about it. First of all, I made a joke about it being Hollywood script to have drama among the characters before the climactic battle. Absolutely following the script. However, it's kind of justified in this context. They have gone through an absurd amount of trauma and all kinds of crazy stuff. Just went through the ways and had all of this crap thrown at them.
They haven't had any time to process. Yeah.
Haven't had any time to be back together. This is the first time they've all been back together and whatever else, and dealing with all this crap. And it is so believable for them to start fussing at each other and saying stupid things that they know are not true. And doing all of that, and that drama makes so much sense and is so realistic that I could totally see that happening.
You know, when you're getting angry with a friend and
or family member,
or family member, whatever, and you have time and space before you see that person, it builds up in your head.
Sure.
So big and can balloon before you see them, and then you let it all out, and you're like, the person's like, why the heck did I get? What is all that coming from?
Yeah.
And then you finally talk about it.
And you know this is not true.
Yeah. And that's not just a high school drama thing. That's a real life thing for even us adults sometimes. You know, because anyway, I am with you. I did not like it when I saw it. I was like, why are we doing this? But okay, it's at least proving the point that there's nothing there finally, you know.
Well, we eventually with the Rand and Egwene scene.
Once the Rand and Egwene scene comes. But I had a problem with it, but with you saying that and the total sense that it makes that we go through that stuff.
Well, and having those doubts and you know, what if, you know, and having those, especially early in a relationship, you know, whatever else, and having those doubts of what if they have feelings for someone, and what, you know, and you usually squash those because they're not true.
Everybody goes through that.
But everybody goes through that, and having that again in this emotionally tense moment and bringing that up, now, if they continue this love triangle thing and whatever else, and if it doesn't look, because of that Rand Egwene scene, I really don't think they are. Yeah. But if that continues, then I'm going to be like, okay, this is stupid. Get over it. Yeah. Quit doing this. Yep. But with this scene, as it is written, I honestly, I am astonished that I feel this way, but I like it a lot. And I've got several more things I want to say about it. Yeah. But yeah, I loved it and thought it was so good.
We move into Lan and Moiraine reminiscing real quickly.
Yeah, so that was a sweet scene. It was kind of a you know, kind of going back, and it was kind of a nod to a conversation that they have in the book, sort of her kind of releasing Lan to be in love with Nynaeve.
I am honestly really loving every time the two of them get together, because it's non-romance, but they have so much chemistry between the two.
I got confused. What we were even talking about?
You're right. But I'm even saying with Moiraine, he has the two of them, Lan and Moiraine, have so much chemistry together, even though it's non-romantic. And I love the fact that those two can just be friends and be really close to each other. And she can be okay with the fact that he is starting to fall for Nynaeve like that. I don't
know that he's starting anymore.
Or
I think he done fell.
Yeah, that's true. It's been accelerated. Yes. So Lan meets up the Malkiri refugees. I loved that scene.
Yep.
I loved how they kept what's the word that they kept calling him?
Daishan.
The future Daishan. Yeah, Daishan. Yes, I loved how much reverence they had for Lan. Like there was it just
reverence and familial
kindness. Bringing him in and being like, we're going to share a meal with this guy because we love him, we respect him so much, And yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. And then leads right into the whole who's following who. So we did have one comment saying they didn't like the Ninja Land and that they felt like, well, did he teleport? Actually, I kind of had a similar feeling. Like when I watched it first, it's like, wait, what has happened? I think, in rewatch, what had happened was basically he's sitting there. She sees him get up. She backs up and goes to turn and leave. And then he's there, and so I didn't have a problem with it, and still don't.
I didn't. I think it could have held for just a second longer, like
some
a
of their
little
cuts are
bit
really
more.
tight.
Yeah. If there had been a little bit more of a pause, so it would have been, because I think non-book readers are like, wait, does Lan have a power now? Is he like,
well, even book readers
teleporting
a little bit?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I mean, we know he doesn't. So anyway,
Right.
it just, and that's a nitpick. Like whatever, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. That's a tiny nitpick. I still love
and bringing Nynaeve into the. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Go ahead, because this is what I was about to.
Bringing her in to meet the family, basically to meet mom and pop, even though it's not mom and pop. Yeah. But yeah, I love that scene. That's really good.
The line from the dad guy or whatever. She's beautiful. I hadn't noticed, and Nynaeve's face like, oh.
Yeah, a little bit of disappointment. Yeah, it's funny.
The way they're handling their romance is so much, and I know, and it's, as being a part of this community and putting stuff out and getting feedback and thinking through things, there are a lot of things that I didn't even think about. In the first book, we see so much through Rand's perspective, and so that's really probably one of the reasons why Lan and Nynaeve's early relationship in the books feels so stilted and doesn't make sense. Feels like it's kind of a little bit out of nowhere. Is because, as Rand is quite fond of pointing out to us, he doesn't know anything about women. So we don't know what the heck is happening there.
I'm missing that statement. I know it might happen to us. Yeah, it's more. Yeah, definitely.
Be
but
great,
at some point, if somebody's like, man, I wish I was Rand. He knows so much about women.
Oh, does he? See, Cat Swain.
Yeah, exactly. Let's jump some comments real quick. Shelly Sadai said Rand starting fights with everyone in that triangle scene was him pushing everyone away before he goes into battle, just like at the beginning of the Great Hunt when he does that to Matt and Perrin.
Yes.
It's a great thought. I haven't even had it. Yeah, that's a great thought.
Yes,
definitely.
It definitely matches that. Definitely. Was probably right in line with that. I don't even know where you go. I don't even know where
Prasad
was responding. Rand pushes people away just keeping them safe too. Yeah, almost certainly.
Yep.
He knows what he is. Yeah, and that's something. Also the advent of Darth Rand, which is great.
I love that.
Getting that reveal that he did have the time with the carrying Tam and all that stuff, it makes a lot of things from season 1 make even more sense, because all of that inner turmoil that we see in book 1 because of being in Rand's perspective clearly was happening. And which is one of the reasons why he lashed out. One of the reasons why he probably lashed out at Moiraine in episode 2, and so it reframes a lot that actually did happen. And so at this point, I'm wishing that they would have put that in sooner.
Yeah.
I was okay with it. Let's now again see our take 2 reaction for full thoughts, but it does reframe it for sure.
Yes. Gap2 said, I wanted to hear Nynaeve say, "So you're a king then?" Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Yep.
And good.
You're a king then. Yep.
So, one more before we jump back in. Charlie says, I did not like the triangle thing initially, even though I felt it in the book too. There are moments in the book where you feel kind of with the Tinkers, especially, could see a maybe, for sure. But I liked the way they handled it after listening to you guys. Glad our ideas are thoughtful.
That's what we're going for. I want, as long as it stays good, I want as many people to enjoy it as possible.
We're enjoying it.
I've been telling like everybody, friends and coworkers and all kinds of people that I'm like, I don't even know if you like this kind of thing, but if you do, you should totally, if you like Lord of the Rings stuff, maybe you should totally go watch
gritty
this.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, gritty Lord of the Rings plus, yeah. Anyway, I've been telling people, and that's what I'm hoping is everybody gets to enjoy it because it's been extremely fun for us, especially as time has gone on. We started out, I don't know how many of you know, with 350-ish subs, and we've more than doubled, and it's been so fun. And that's not even what I don't really care about that. It's been fun to actually get to communicate with you guys and have a lot of Discord or chatting back and forth and getting to hear your ideas and getting to hear your thoughts on our ideas and all that kind of stuff.
When we look at the analytics, our lives don't move our numbers needle as much, but honestly, these are the most fun thing that we're doing, and they're great.
And they've doubled almost every time. I mean, I'm looking right now, and we've got almost 60 people on, and last week we had 35, and the week before we had 15. So it's great. It's so fun.
A lot of fun. Hopefully, y'all are having fun too, because we're having a blast.
Yep, we are. So
what had happened next?
Let's see, Lan. What are we talking about? The Nynaeve and Lan romance scene. We didn't really talk about that.
They're fast forwarding it. It's the biggest thing there. The best thing about that scene, in my humble opinion, or not so humble, I don't even know. But anyway, is the legit, honest to goodness, no non-debatable braid tug that we got in that scene. It was great.
It's final. Yeah, she's done it a couple of times in that episode.
She's done it sort of.
Yeah.
Well, in this episode,
in that episode, she had done it a couple of times. We're
gonna focus on the braid. And I did see one non-book reader. God, it was just funny. And this is kind of a for fans only thing, apparently, because I saw one non-booker say, what is up with the weird braid thing and going on with all this stuff, and like I wonder if there's something with whatever else, and
there is,
that made me chuckle. That was it's hilarious.
So the Rand and Egwene moment after that.
That reframed that whole earlier drama thing was the biggest thing with
fixes
that.
Fixes that whole scene.
And then the them making up and all that was
it was good. It was good. Him not being able to shoot an arrow to save his life kind of thing. That was hilarious.
Which we're probably gonna talk about a little bit more in a minute. But
And then Lan revealing his past to Nynaeve.
That was good. The only thing with that was nice. We figured that the Lan reveal was going to happen this episode. The one thing I want to see still is I want to see him push her away because of duty and because of not wanting her to die, and because of not just because I think I said that in our reaction. It's not it is because of duty kind of, but even more than that, because he loves her. That idea and that concept is so big and so huge and so awesome of we're going to wait, and we're going to not do this because I love you and I care about you and all of that. And that's, and I hope I think we will, but I hope we get that back and whatever still. But
did you have something, Rochelle? No, okay. She just looked over here. I thought maybe she did.
She's looking at her cute husband.
Yep. Oh. That's it, definitely.
The karmaness has told me that a lie.
So you are the dragon reborn.
You are the dragon reborn.
You're talking about the wind part, right? When he's flashing back to the wind. Is that what you're talking about?
The wind. Well, in that whole sequence. That whole I just put "You Are the Dragon," but that whole sequence of the reveal and the dramatic reveal and whatever else, which we liked in the show. We were as book readers, I think we were much more excited about that moment than from what I've seen of non-book readers. I saw one non-book reader be like okay, the Dragon Reborn reveal happened and it felt really anticlimactic and now it kind of feels like we're ready to get on with the show. And I'd seen at least one commenter basically saying exactly what we were afraid of, that there wasn't enough evidence of that and push for that. And so it was kind of like what the heck happened? And he has gone from pouty, grumpy Rand to whatever. And we know, and of course, we're not taking it if you just look at that, we're not taking into account that he has known or at least been wrestling with it since Winter's Night, right? And so I think book readers were more, us included, were more excited about that scene than non-book readers, honestly.
I loved how they had the shot from earlier in the episode where they showed that Rand was the one that put his arm around
the channeling,
around Egwene and channeled. I wish they would have done that same shot in that time frame, showing all of these things that point to him. I wish they would have done a shot from earlier in the, like in episode 3 or 4 or something, where he had done something else that we didn't get to see. Maybe we saw a weird shot of it.
And if they would have, and I don't know that they should have shown the weaves with the door and Dana thing, like hardcore, like what they did in there. But if they would have maybe like kind of showed, I don't know. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that they could have done. And the problem I'm having, and I'll go ahead and give you things that I'm going to say in the take 2. The problem I'm having with it is because of the way it's turned out, that a lot of non-book readers, because this mystery is for the non-book readers. I mean, kind of for us, us and other people were kind of like, are they actually going to change it? There was that, they sure are leaning heavy in this, whatever else. So I guess that too, but after kind of looking at some non-book readers and some different thoughts and different things there, I kind of wonder, sorry, I just had the thought on whether our grid thing is not on our video. Is it, Love? Sorry.
We'll watch here in a second. Yeah.
If it is, and there is some weird grid thing, sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, good. That was a did I leave the oven on sort of moment.
If you notice in our earlier lives, there was some weird stuff going on with those lights over there behind Sean's head. That's our black magic 6K doing its lovely thing and showing us when things are blown out. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for that weird moment. Just had a moment. But anyway, my problem with it now, looking back in hindsight, and I don't know that they could have totally known that this was going to happen, and so I'm absolutely giving this a pass, and I'm still extremely excited for the future and still love this season, but because this reveal, from what I can tell, kind of fell flat and wasn't as cool and impactful as they envision it, which is, that happens in art all the time. You make something that's like, oh my gosh, I love this. And you put it out and everybody's like, that looks terrible. That happens in art, and that's fine. Like, I don't have any problem with this. But because it did fell flat, it kind of makes me sad at this point that because they could have done some things differently, because there were some things that they changed very specifically in order to keep the reveal of Rand from seeing it too early.
Yep.
And if they didn't do that, then they could have added some scenes in or kept some things more book accurate. And I'm hoping that now that they have this reveal and maybe learn from the fact that it didn't quite work, hopefully they see that and think about that, that they can, it'll help affect their future, the future of the show. And so that's really my only deal with it right now is because it didn't quite work. It doesn't look like the way they wanted. I wish they would have done some things a little bit different, but that's a very hindsight sort of a thing. Yep. And so that's really the biggest deal there.
Rand and the Rand and Min moment was really sweet.
It was.
It definitely, I don't know. I still am like really curious as where he's going with all this. I like, it's really weird, but I like the kind of box that we get with all this. Yeah, it's an interesting
drama.
Yeah, it's drama. Exactly. And it's an interesting look at the love and the whatever. Anyway, all the things, there's so much to go into their romance. It's
as long as we keep the Birgitta reacting to Elaine and Rand, as long as we keep that, I'm fine. One of the most hilarious parts of the book.
Yes. No, anyway, Sean has said in the past that Robert Jordan was not the greatest at his romance writing. Of the romances in the book, there's a lot of lacking. So anyway, I hope they do better on that. And so I think
I hope we ditch the Gawain Egwene romance thing. I can
Or they
throw
make
that
it
in
better.
okay,
It
maybe
could be better.
Yeah, sure. And
The Lan Nynaeve stuff
is
is
better
showing me that
at
I
this
think
point,
he can do it better. So it's
yeah,
gonna be good.
Okay, yeah, I guess. I hate that one so much that I'd just as soon it not exist in any form. But maybe.
Let's real quickly go back to comments and then
Yeah.
we'll finish it
close
out.
to wrapping up here. Yeah.
So we got. I think we're back up here at Andreas.
Greg Miller.
Oh yeah, Greg Miller. That's where we're at.
Prediction. Rafe's love triangle change will be Egwene, Avienda, and Elaine. That could be. That is possible.
Oh.
I hope they don't do that because I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I love Min's character so much. So but I guess she doesn't necessarily have to be tied to Rand. There's a little bit of, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that.
So Shelley Sadai says, I assume responding to Greg Miller, well, she says she is, if someone has to go, let it be Elaine. Must keep the ship with men.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched our reaction, but I tried to
definitely a
use
shipper.
shipping
Whatever
vocabulary.
I know we're terrible at that. Yeah, we are showing our age.
We're
not that old,
interest.
but yeah.
Is that am I doing this right? Would that be a raw win? Is that how you ship? Is that how you talk about shipping?
I don't know. Ramen.
We
Sorry.
like the ramen relationship. That might be cultural appropriation. That might be don't ban us.
Yeah.
Don't cancel.
That's not what I meant by that. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I just like ramen, really, like the food. Andreas Vox, Rafe just said that not all characters will survive the Eye of the World. Oh, okay. Okay, so there wasn't a specific note to that. I don't know. What? Yeah. Brother Tarwin's Gaptooth, the casting director, deserves some huge credit. These actors are all collectively killing it. I suppose
110%.
my brother book was in the library. Oh, brother book was in the library with the candlestick.
Probably.
Yes.
We haven't seen him. We still haven't seen Brother Book holding a little teacup.
I know.
I want to see that.
They do have his hands really big. I like that, and his size still. I think Sean kind of has a problem that his size is not big enough.
Okay with it. I'm just hoping we get Insecure Loyal at some point. That's the only thing I'm missing from my Loyal at this point.
Yep.
But
so then Trippy.
Yeah, Trippy says, talking about Nynaeve, I love how everyone was getting owned by the Black Wind, and then they get to Nynaeve, and she's just like, want to bet?
I can and will protect
everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, screw this. I'm gonna. I ain't. Yeah, she said, hold my beer.
A Logain. I love the name. I was kind of on the fence up until this episode about some of the changes. After this week, though, I'm all in. It's just an alternate third age in the turning of the wheel. Yep.
Another turning of the wheel.
That's a great way to take it.
Super great. Facts that says you even have people doubting he is the dragon. Doubting he is the dragon.
Waiting more evidence. Well,
probably are. Good.
You know what? But next episode we'll hopefully be like, oh, okay.
If that isn't the nail in that coffin, then I don't know where
I don't know if we're gonna get the light umbilical cord or not, but I hope if we do that it's done better than the light umbilical cord.
more understanding what the heck is happening.
Yes.
I don't know. I think that I think this ending might still be kind of ambiguous and whatever else, but we shall see. Our predictions video will come out on Sunday, by the way, before most of the information. So join us for more predictions there.
Teva, did they show him heal Bella? Can't remember.
They didn't. I don't think they should have. Why didn't they do that?
What?
I'm lost. So almost certainly this is an Easter egg from episode 2, I think. So when Moiraine goes to heal or
Bella,
the horses, Bella is already good to go. And she skips over Bella because Rand did it and whatever else. Gotcha. And I don't think they showed that.
No, they didn't. They should have.
Missed opportunity.
That is a missed opportunity. Yeah.
And maybe only book. Well, I don't know. But yeah, they should have. I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Faxat right after that said actually they might switch the healing to Bella to heal Matt during the trip. That's why he's so strong.
Huh. Yeah, could be. Okay. I don't know. We'll have to see. So Prasad's responding to Teva. Moiraine comments that his horse was healed in the books, but then she went to heal it. Yeah. Oh,
When she went to it.
when she went to heal it. Yes, it was more clear in the books. There was, I mean, obviously there was a lot more. I mean, we were very sure way before the ending of Eye of the World that Rand was the Dragon Reborn for sure.
Yes, I agree. That's a good point. Duckfist said, I feel like the Black Wind's lies threw off a few non-readers into remaining skeptical. I think episode 8 might pull a fast one on us. Then maybe Rand fully cemented as the dragon at the end of TGH. Yep. Emperor.
Could be.
Yeah. Emperor Francis, I'm really looking forward to seeing 2 or 3 Forsaken in the next episode.
100%.
And
At least one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope they do a better job. You said that before. I'm hoping they do a better job of that. Which were you going to say? Which Forsaken are we going to see?
So in the comments, which Forsaken are actually going to show up?
That's a good question.
Because our prediction still is they're not going to have all 13 Forsaken, and they're going to trim the number. We saw
total
8.
in
We
the
saw
show.
8
Definitely
figurines.
not on that. Yeah.
Yeah, they won't all be in the episode. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
If that was confusing. It'll still be just 1 to 3 at the most at the end of this episode is our prediction there. But if they are cutting them, they will almost certainly cut out Balthamel and the other guy. I know he's the more important one, but for some reason I can't think of his name. Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the heck his name is.
Go ahead.
Which Forsaken do you think are going to show up at the end, episode 8? I'm wondering if Lanfear is going to be one of them, and we get a Lanfear. Now, I would like the Lanfear reveal like it is in the books because it's awesome, and the whole Selene thing and whatever else. But it wouldn't astonish me if they do that.
Okay, we got Ravin, Ishamael, Demon
He doesn't hardly know about him yet. Let him get through the ending.
Samael, Agenor, Balthamel.
Agenor, that's who I'm trying to
Agenor is who
say.
you're talking about. Yeah, Asmodean, Belial,
Lanfear, Cimarron.
Yeah, Lanfear, Cimarron, Masana, Grendel, Grandal.
So I'm thinking if they do trim the number and we don't get a Agenor and Balthamel, which we definitely could at this point. I'm not actually totally sold. I stated that firmly, but I'm actually not totally sold on that they're not going to keep the end of this show a lot like the book. But at this point, I was very far away from that, but I'm coming around to thinking they may do that. But anyway, if they do, I bet we either get Lanfear or Moghedien. And because of their women, and because if they're keeping some only certain Forsaken, I feel fairly confident that those two will be 2 of them. But I don't know. We could see a lot of different things. We could see Samael, which I love. I love that his figurine was short. That's very clearly who that was. As the commenter pointed out, they did Sam I Am dirty. I'm adding the Sam I Am. That's our thing.
But, Sam I Am.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see.
Then Moiraine and Rand head to the Blight. Where's Rand moment happens.
Yes.
All of that, which was cool. I like that Moiraine was after thinking about. I really like that Moiraine was like, okay, thanks, Pattern. Let's go.
And and left everybody behind. I did enjoy that too.
Masking Landsbond. I thought that was I liked that. It was protecting Lan and whatever else. I'm sure Lan hated it.
Oh yeah.
Like he's probably pissed.
He is. He is probably very pissed.
But so let's round out with a last few comments, and then we're gonna peace out.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So Speely76. Yes, please ditch the Gawain Egwene. Oh look, it makes me throw up in my mouth a little every time I read it.
Yes.
Brother Tywin.
He does. Gawain, I will say that he becomes a more interesting character later, but honestly, it's not because Gawain. It's because of Gareth Bloody Bryn.
Oh, yeah.
And that little... And it's
Gareth Bryn.
Gawain stays pretty much an idiot forever. But I do like the little mentorship thing that happens later.
Yeah. Brother Tywin's Gaptooth says Rafe will need to be some sort of magician to change my feelings on Gawain. Just make him a little less cringeworthy. Yep. So Shelley Sedai.
Yeah, so Shelley Sedai says, here are 2 parts to the reveal of the Dragon Reborn. 1, Rand accepting it as him, and then number 2, the world accepting it as him. Yeah, and absolutely. Right now, I think more characters know about Rand. Well, actually, no, they really don't, though. They really right now, and see that is another thing that we predicted to be true, and it happens a lot like the book that right now men and the men part is not like the book, not at this point in the book, right? But Moiraine and Rand
really are the only ones
that know,
and
everybody
everybody else is speculating, obviously, because they left them, but they still they have no idea.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Trippy says, question to all, have we seen anything in the trailers that we haven't seen in the show yet? I think we're going into this next episode completely blind. Borderlanders with crossbows.
Yep,
that's true.
That was exactly the Borderlanders with crossbows. The only thing I can think of.
Yep, We'll have to we'll go back and check those two.
I was surprised. I didn't watch most of the after show live show because I was trying to work on some other things for our stuff and whatever. Dusty Wheels after the show a couple nights ago or whatever. But one of his polls that he put up with was basically, are we going to get a battle at Tarwin's Gap in the episode? And most people said yes. But I was surprised that there was anybody that was saying no. I mean, we're definitely getting a battle at Tarwin's Gap. I mean, that's happening. I'll guarantee. I would put money on that one.
That's right.
But
Stephen Peterson, if it is Lanfear, do you think they're going to yeet? Oh, meet. Yeet Moiraine. Now
playing into everyone is going to survive. Not everyone is going to survive
the eye.
So we have been saying we had the theory. We may have been some of the first to say that Moiraine may. I don't know. I don't know of anybody that said it sooner than we did on YouTube, at least. That Moiraine may die at the end of this episode. I now don't think that's true. That's going to happen because of where we are with Moiraine and Rand in this episode. Because I think that we are going to get their relationship happening.
Yeah.
And
I think it's too important to that relationship is too important.
Well, and emotionally impactful for the yeeting of Moiraine and whatever. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I thought it was possible, especially because of episode 5, and spending so much time looking at the bond and the feeling of Moiraine and Lan and them contemplating how that would affect them. That especially made me think it might happen. But I don't think that's going to. It could still. That is possible, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, we could be totally surprised. That's not beyond, and they are going to spend some time, obviously, on this next episode. They're going to spend a little bit of time, who knows how long, but on their relationship between the two of them, some a little bit more of him being able to trust her, hopefully, and that kind of thing, because I love that part of the books, the fact that she is so important to him.
Yes,
every time he names the list of women in his head that he's killed or had killed or not had killed literally, but something
other
he's
people
done
killed because of him.
Yes, exactly.
All the things.
Yeah, and Moiraine is at the top of the list every time.
Yeah.
I'm getting Anyway, okay.
He's getting emotional.
No. I was thinking about Moiraine getting rescued hopefully soon.
Not quite there yet.
What was the last one?
I think Shelley Sedai says, I think the show is going to have 2 battles in episode 8. Rand, Moiraine at Eye of the World, and everyone else at Tarwin's Gap. Yep. I think so too. The only thing I'm curious about with that is how many of our core group are going to try to follow Rand and Moiraine, and if they try to follow, are there any of them that are going to actually follow and have anything there? I saw another comment on here that kind of plays into it that I really like their theory. In fact, I'll jump ahead and say that. So. Gonna probably mess up your name. It's Adrian or Adrian. Park Tucker says Perrin left for dead at the Eye. Wolves revive him, which is an interesting theory, and I'm gonna be surprised if that's the way they go, but I love it. That could be that would be really.
I'm really interested. That part of the books, the Rand Wolf thing, has not
Perrin Wolf thing.
Perrin Wolf thing is one of my favorite parts. That he doesn't dive enough into it, in my opinion. There's a lot of it because there's so many bowl of the wind.
Yeah, he
complaint
leaves
here.
that
There's so
storyline
many,
a lot.
There's so many things that happen, and he doesn't go. So I hope we get a little bit more of that in the show. I definitely agree with that.
Super cool.
Tavis said, Egwene coming up from the sacred pond of the cave we have not seen yet in the show.
Oh, right. Yeah, and at this one, I think that's cut from the show. In our reaction to that trailer, we had the thought, well, maybe that scene is an Egwene dreaming moment, and we were really hoping that was going to be true, because then we could have been like, ha ha, we were right.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think that's just a scene that they ultimately cut.
Yeah.
It's funny because in the Rogue One trailer, the coolest moment of that was what's her face saying "We rebel" or whatever, and that was cut from the movie.
Show. Yep.
And the coolest part of that trailer, arguably, was Egwene coming up out of the thing, and that was cut.
Yep.
So sometimes that happens. That's what we're thinking right now.
Sandan Glotka's teeth said Moiraine uses Daes Daemar on Lan to entice him to go after Nynaeve, so she would have the opportunity to mask the bond because of her use of DDM on the EM file on the Edmonds Field 5, knowing that the Dragon Reborn would reveal themselves. That's interesting.
DDM, what is that?
Her use of Daes Daemar.
Oh, Daes. Oh,
yeah.
He struggled with it on that. Yeah. Coming and going.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sure. And that seems extremely plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
you.
has been amazing.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Thank you
super fun.
so much for joining us. It's been awesome. If you want to support us, go check out one of our other videos. We'll hopefully put it on the description of this as well. But in one of our other videos that's not live, you can check out the bottom. We finally got our affiliate thing with Amazon going. So now anytime you purchase anything from that list, or even if you purchase anything after you click on one of those links, we get a little bit of kickback, and it helps it kick out. What?
Sorry, I shouldn't have spoke.
It's okay. It's all right. No, we get a little kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything, doesn't change anything about Amazon, just gives them the benefit of us advertising, I guess, for them or whatever. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you for being here, and we have really enjoyed this live for sure. You guys are awesome, and I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You can. Oh, that's fine.
I didn't know how to do it. I ended it.
Yeah.